This is Asia Times Deputy Editor David Goldman speaking to you from New York City the evening of June 28th. The president of the Boston Federal Reserve Bank, Eric Rosengren, was quoted in the press today warning that the United States cannot afford another boom and bust cycle in housing. Never mind that the year-on-year increase in the median house price, according to the National Association of Realtors, was about 24% between this May and May last year, the fastest on record, and that the rate of increase of home prices dwarfs anything we've seen during bubbles in the past. The Federal Reserve is sternly saying that they're watching the situation. Now, we have a bubble really like we've never seen before, and I'd like to give you a definition of a bubble. And that's when you buy an asset that's so expensive that you don't expect it to make any money. Your only hope is to get rid of it by selling it to a greater fool than you are. Let's take a look at the chart of the day, which shows the return you get by financing a house, that is, taking out a mortgage, buying a house, and then renting it. And the difference is about 3% of the value of the house. That's because the average price of a house is about $250,000. The average mortgage rate is the lowest in history at about 3%, and the average rent is about $1,700 a month and change. We've done the math. Now, the thing is, houses are an asset which have wear and tear. The average depreciation on the median family house is about 3%. That's what you're getting in net rental after paying the cost of financing. So your expected return on a house is zero. Now, it's not just houses where the return is expected to be zero. Junk bonds are at the tightest yields in history. Single B junk bonds, which have a high loss rate, are yielding about 4.4% right now. Now, according to Moody's, the average default rate on single B credits over time is about 7%. And with a recovery of 35%, that means you'd expect to lose on a portfolio of single B bonds about 4.6% a year, but you're only getting 4.4% in yield. So if you believe the historical numbers on loss rates of single Bs, you're buying an asset on which you expect to lose money. Why do people do that? Well, when the Fed keeps interest rate at zero forever, pension funds and other investors, insurance companies who have to earn yield to pay their pensioners, to pay out policies, have to buy what's available. So the Federal Reserve has created asset bubbles such as we've never had. We know this is not going to end well. As inflation mounts and the Federal Reserve eventually is forced to tighten interest rates, this will have a sad outcome. The Federal Reserve is frightened. You should be too. Be afraid. Be very afraid. This is David Goldman speaking to you from New York City.